What's up, fellow lords of gaming? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So I'm sorry that I got around to this late than I should have. I was busy playing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was busy trying to set up streams for, setting up and testing streams for actual streaming gameplay. As some of it that's held me back from being able to stream, which is what I prefer to do instead of creating videos and then having to deal with the edits. Is that I've had pretty poor internet out in the rural countryside. So now I have reliable internet. I guess reliable as Starlink is going to be, but it's been pretty good for me over the past month. Is the ability to basically do that. So I was doing that and kind of fell off from Marvel Future Fight, and most of that is because I'm going to be honest with you guys. My first impression video is still my impression of the characters currently. I'm very meh about this update. Let me be honest for where I'm coming from with this. So inside the team, what we currently have for the characters is Ms. Marvel, Spectrum, and Kamala Khan. Now 100% go out, get that uniform, and T3 Nick Fury. Now I'm gonna say and be honest with you about the Nick Fury uniform. Do you need the Nick Fury uniform? No, you don't. So let's take a look at Nick Fury really quickly to start inside this video, because I'm going to give you guys pretty much the breakdown right here, right? So Nick Fury, where's he at? Here we go. So this is Nick Fury currently, right? Now this uniform basically is going to change one thing and one thing only, and that's really his leadership, right? So essentially his leadership inside here, we get to increase all basic attack by 60% inside here. If you were to go back to the Marvel Studio Captain Marvel movie inside here and would look at his leadership skill inside here, he was at 50. So you get a nice hefty 10%. Now, what it doesn't change is his passive skills at all. So we get 30 and 55, right? If I remember correctly, it doesn't change those. So you can see it and just remove all debuff inside here. So let's go back over here into his Marvel's uniform. Let's take a look at his passives inside here, and you can see it's still 30 and 55. So the uniform hasn't changed any of his other passive skills inside of here whatsoever, and the removes all debuff is still the same. So you could eschew the 10% buff that you would get from his leadership, and that's essentially what you're buying. Even worse is that in the uniform, they've taken away the ability for him to pass the buff on his 5th skill to other allies. So now it only applies to himself, so you don't really have it. Now, what you gain with the uniform for Nick Fury, outside of just those support passes, is you do get a character that is able to stand somewhat on his own inside of battles. Now, let's be honest, nobody's going to really be using a T3 character, Nick Fury, to basically do world boss legend type battles. Really, you're going to be using him as a support, so it's easy to forego the uniform in total, right? Like I really just don't need the uniform other than for that 10% increase to his legendary leadership battle. Otherwise, you could just basically T3 him, which is the benefit, T3 him, and now you have him for world boss legend battles, ABX, and things like that. So I would still say purchase the uniform. 10% is 10%, and that's a really good buff, especially for 750 crystals, which the uniform's going for. So next up, the disappointments that is Amani Vellani, Kamala Khan's character, and Spectrum Teyana Paris's character. This was just going to be bad from them no matter what, especially with the way the game has basically changed in terms of landscape. Right now, we're basically receiving buffs from multiple places in the game. You're getting buffs from the Extra Swords, you're getting buffs from team up collections, you're getting buffs from artifacts, you're getting buffs from custom gears, you're getting buffs from cards, you're getting buffs all of the places outside of where we were getting buffs before. Like back in the day, 3 years ago, in fact, you were getting buffs simply from uniforms, and that was it, really. You still had your cards and stuff like that, right? But like the majority of your buffs were just coming from uniforms. Now uniforms, like I just showed you with Nick Fury, they've just become optimizations. They haven't become like buffs that were magnanimous for a character, where they're like, hey, Tiana is getting a buff for her character. It just really looked like an optimization for the character. So we can take a look inside World Boss. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go inside World Boss with these characters individually, so that way you can see We're going to jump inside some training modes. Basically, we'll use Mephisto because Mephisto's probably one of the easiest bosses inside here. And I don't really want to, like, you know, bog you guys down. We're going to stick at stage 2. I've already said my piece about this. It always says you'll get better rewards playing on a higher difficulty. No, you get better rewards for completing stages within the higher difficulty, but your daily rewards, those have not changed. Come on, Netmarble, change those rewards. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly what we're looking at basically for his characters. I will go out of these, right? So essentially what I'm gonna look at is I've got Nick Fury, right? I'm gonna put him as my leadership and use him as the base for all of my characters. Let's see, who should I use outside of Nick Fury? I'm not really caring about baselining a character, whatever. Like, so we've got Kamala Khan inside of here. She's a speed character, and I like the idea of basically using Shuri inside here. I don't know why. Just, you know, she gets the speed type all inside here, and then she passes the passive of 55 and 40. And I think you're going to end up being able to pass different leadership support type characters inside of here, depending on like your, you know, whatever it is that you like. Like, there's going to be characters that are better than some characters. This is what I'm going to use right now. So I'm going to basically use her, and we're going to use Amani Vellani's character side here. So the rotation, I forgot what the rotation is for her. So let's go back inside here. Let's look at the skills. I definitely forgot that. Jesus Christ. So let's go off Turnus. So this is what the rotation is that we're going to be looking at for Kamala. Is just going to be a 3, 5, 4, and then a 6. 3, 5, 4, and then a 6. Really simple rotation that we're going to be getting off with the character overall. That's it. Yeah, 95 hit combo on a full 6 rotation. I was a little shocked by that. So let's go back. I totally whiffed on that in terms of my video recording, and I ain't gonna redo it. I'm just letting you know that right now. So okay, so that's what we're looking for. 3, 5, 4 stage 2. Okay, so my Kamala, I'll show you what her build out is after the fact. Trust me, ain't a whole lot on this character. So we'll also use, yeah, we'll use these because it's physical attack inside of here for these characters that she's getting the bonus from. And we'll see what we look at on clearing what you call all right, so we'll switch out to Kamala. Don't need to really. 3, 5, and then 4 is what we're looking at. Passes off the buff. 3, 5, and then 4. She didn't make it through the whole of that, which is just like disappointing on a stage 2, right? For a tier 3 character, like, should have been able to hit that buff on her overall. So that way we're like, let's just move to the next stage. And so now we're gonna go 3, 5, 4, 6, 3, 5, 4, and then 6. And booyah! She's able to complete the entire and lap it. Now, pay attention that, like, yeah, she's able to clear that in about 37 seconds. And I'm not the best of players, right? So at stage 2, she's definitely going to be good. But when you start pushing higher stages for the character, beware that she is not going to represent the bonus that you think she's going to represent. Okay, so like and you know, I could show you those, but I would have to reach some really high levels in order to do that. So she's a human superhero. I think combat, no, she's not a combat, so we can't do that. So I think right now the highest that I have available for me would be stage 24 because she's a superhero and she's human. So we can go here and we can do those. So we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do this here. Okay. And be mindful that, like I said, to be honest with you, I hate to say this, but the great mini players, you're not going to be playing these stages, and the rewards are not going to change for you all that much. So that's just the truth. 3, 5, 4. I should have went for the 6 then, but I really wanted to hold on to it for some reason. 3, 5, 4. Like, it's stage 24. I would have expected her to already complete this, but it looks like he's going to be able to get off his rotation inside here. Wasn't expecting that at all. Now, I didn't use my 6th skill inside of here, and I probably should have, but Yeah, I was really expecting her to already break through this. Like it's just stage 24. She still hasn't broken through. A minute in. It was finally. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna use the 6 on this one. Beef up. 3, 5, 4, combo 6. Like some nice energy there done, but like, you know, like, to be honest with you, I know other characters, even at stage 3, you know, tier 3, that could do this content in quicker, even when I stayed tier 4. Almost completed through, and she doesn't quite make it. Haha, broke out of it. Oh, did she? Why did it switch out? I didn't switch. Oh, you bastard. 3, 5, 4. So you can see it's not that she's not gonna be able to complete this content. It's just that, like, there's other characters that are gonna be at speed that you have the ability and access to that are just gonna make it like irrelevant for you to want to get this uniform. That's just the truth of the matter. So there you go. Like we're like 2 minutes in and it took that. So we'll just exit from there. Could that run be done quicker? Yeah, for sure. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna show you that I don't really have a whole lot on her. ISO 8 is at Power Angry Hulk. I do have her artifact at 4. Custom gear, I have nothing on her for custom gear. And she was able to complete that. So it's like, it's not that she's bad, right? It's just that, like, when you look at the grand scheme of who the character is stacked up against, and I had to say to you, go purchase our uniforms. I hate to say this, but she's got way better contenders that I would say, like, go purchase Gamora's uniform first. Go purchase Spider-Gwen's. Go purchase Luna Snow's. Go purchase Black Widow. There's higher potential movement for those characters with their uniforms and with their T4s than there is currently with you with Kamala Khan. Like, we shouldn't just be seeing uniforms for these characters. We should be seeing upwards projection for those characters. So I want to see a T4 for this character, and that's what I should have seen in this update. Both of these characters should have received a T4, not just a uniform picture inside of here. Now, it's not like she has a whole lot of other characters behind her coming that you're gonna be like, yeah, I can see these characters getting T4, but they're also speed, so it just is what it is, right? Now, next up, what I want to show you guys is we're gonna put in Teyonah Parris's character Spectrum in the same position. So let's see, we've got her with her skills. Let's take a look at her skills overall. Practice combo combat settings, make sure these off. And for her, we have another simple rotation, 6, 5, 4, 3. So it's just gonna be 6, 5, 4, and then 3. They've got very simple rotations on the character. I was very surprised that with a full rotation, this was all the hits she was getting. You notice, I think the max that I've seen with that was like about 8, like 95 or something like that. Same like Kamala. 6, 5, 4, 3. Not a whole lot of hits happening on this skill. So we're gonna see this one gets about to 90. Like, you're fighting for 90 hits on a full rotation. That's crazy. So let's put her in. So all we really need to do with this character is we're just gonna swap her out for the for Kamala inside of here. So let's jump into that and let's take a look. Go mission. We'll come, you know, we'll just do it at 24. She's still usable there, and then we'll look for the blast type character. Where is she at? There we go. So we've basically got her inside of here, and we'll just set the ally team, and we'll use the same one that we were using over here. All right, so let's go in, start the training. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3 when not using it overall. Alrighty, switch out to Teyonah. Get out of there just because I'm like thinking about it. 6, 5, 4, and then 3. Jesus, it's stage 20, guys. 5, 4, 3. Still inside of it. Gotta move around. 5, 4, 3. Are we gonna be able to hit that break on him? Doesn't look like it. 5, 4, 3. Shit, we missed out on that 6 rotation. But he gets off his rage. And then let's jump back into a 5, 4, 3. He's still in it. He's still in it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Her build that I have currently for her is even worse than the build that I had for because I have nothing on them. But like that's not a thing again, like for the characters, because I have definitely played these stages with characters who have far less in terms of procs and builds and things like that going. So we finally at about 322. We're just gonna leave it there. You guys can see that right there. So we'll exit out of that. That's essentially Tiana's or Spectrum's characters inside here. So let's take a look at her, what I've got loaded on her real quick. And you can see basically here, no, I don't have anything on her there. Type, she's at rank 5. ESO, she's at Power Anger Hulk, not fully stage 12. And then this is her artifacts. Now I will individually build these characters and do individual videos for them, but like I just wanted to give you guys the big gist of the characters. Like I have played with characters who I have given nothing to, and they've been able to complete those stages with little problem. So it is what it is. And then we now I'm not against, I don't want to compare inside this video Captain Marvel to these two characters, because I already got Captain Marvel at tier level 80. Not to mention I do have her, I don't have her built out, but I have sort of built out inside her. Like she actually has ESOs and things like that inside here, and she's got a CTP of Rage equipped to her. I don't really envision putting any CTPs onto these two characters. So specifically like Tiana Paris, she's in the same boat as Imani's character is, because if I come inside here, if I go inside here and I look at blast type characters who are superheroes as well, god dang it, I hate when it does that. When I look at blast type superhero characters, well, I have above her, I have Storm, who's definitely better than her. Guess what? I also have Sharog. Sharon Rogers is sitting inside here, and she fills all the billets that Spectrum would fill as well. So it's problematic in that sense alone, right? And then when you look at who could potentially be coming behind her in terms of characters that you're probably going to get updates for maybe within the next year or so, you're still looking at Spider-Woman and Riri Williams. The reason why I point out these two characters, we know we're not going to get any great movies, but like in 2023, because I think now we know we're only going to be getting Into the Spider-Verse, which is a Sony movie, but it's still Marvel, so you could be getting a potential update for her maybe inside of the Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse movies. We probably don't hit Wakanda again for a little while, so we'd have to be looking at television series Riri. I don't know that we're getting anything there for her. But then you're also looking down the pipe at Captain Jesus Christ, Sue Storm potentially, and Crystal potentially, the Fantastic Four, getting updates inside there. So I've got characters behind her, and this character currently doesn't meet the demand of beating out either of these two characters, especially since they have their tier 4. So you run this whole wheelhouse there of are these characters worth it for you to purchase these uniforms where they're just getting uniforms? I would love to see Marvel Future Fight development team just give these characters their tier 4s. Give both of them tier 4, and we then have the ability across the speed universe, well, she's technically still combat, speed, universal, blast type characters to basically choose from, and then level those characters up, especially with Black Friday on the horizon, because now you have a reason to sell deals to people, because maybe there are people that are especially whales, that are gonna be like, hey, I really want to level all 3 of these characters tier 4. It just puts more in your pocket, and it's in theme and alignment with the movies, right? You basically faster, stronger, higher, whatever together. So go together and get that tier 4. That's my thoughts on it. So otherwise, I gotta say, hey guys, skip out on these 2 uniforms. I don't think that they really do anything for the characters, and I think there's better characters for you, especially if you're a free-to-play or a dolphin player like myself and not a whale, to basically invest in. I wouldn't tell you invest in Imani Vellani's character, or I gotta stop calling them by their names, Kamala Khan's character, because there are better speed options. The same thing for Spectrum. There are better blast options out there for you. So I would just, yeah, Captain Marvel and Nick Fury probably are the shines of a meh update, to be honest with you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.